Welcome to the passing through ceremony where the 137th Corps of Cadets welcomes the new boys this year to full cadet status as a member of the Corps. Your sons have spent the past 9 weeks learning the basics of being a cadet at the Missouri Military Academy. They have studied their cadet handbooks and passed a rigorous, comprehensive written exam. They have learned the basics of military drill and ceremonies, learned military structure and bearing, how to keep their rooms ready, and the basics of contributing to a team effort through our company competition and the Crucible Challenge. While they still have much to learn, they have met the requirements and earned the right to wear the gold star, indicating membership in a JROTC Honor Unit of Distinction, as determined by the Cadet Command of the U.S. Army. Over the years, many military schools have used the passing through ceremonies similar to this one today to designate a person's passing from recruit to cadet status. As our newest cadets pass through the front gate and march forward, they are welcomed as full cadets of the Corps by the battalion commander and the administration of the school. We are honored to have with us today the head of the reviewing party, Missouri Military Academy President, Brigadier General Richard V. Geraci, U.S. Army, retired. Joining him is the rest of the reviewing party, Interim Commandant Major Wayne Wieland, U.S. Army, retired, and Academic Dean Renee Clement. We are also privileged to have the parent committee leaders sitting with the reviewing party. Carrie Grace, mother of Cadet Grace, class of 29, and Martha Bowles, mother of Cadet Puebla, class of 26. Shay Herrera, mother of Cadet Cordova, class of 27, who was unable to be in attendance today.
cadets are all present and are ready to be welcomed to the Corps of Cadets.
Bring the Corps to parade rest.
All right! Hooray!
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Major Wayne Wheelander. I'm the interim commandant here at the Missouri Military Academy. On behalf of Brigadier General Richard Gracie, I want to welcome you to this ceremony this morning. Now, these young men that are standing in front of you have gone through a very intense training program the last few weeks. They've been on the Maroon Phase since they got here. Now, being on the Maroon Phase, they're having to learn everything about being a cadet here at Missouri Military Academy, living in a civilian environment, living in a barracks. How do they wear their uniform? Where are they supposed to be? When are they supposed to be? Military customs and courtesies, how they should act, and a whole lot more than that, which is all contained in the cadet handbook. So one of the first things that they had to do to become a full cadet is take a test on their knowledge of the cadet handbook. So all these young gentlemen in front of you have passed that test. The next test they had was the Crucible. Now the Crucible tested both the personal strength, the physical endurance, and their teamwork, because it had a number of events that could not have been accomplished as an individual. Once again, all these young men before you completed the Crucible successfully. Now here today, we're here to recognize them, and personally I would like to congratulate them on the success of this, because this was not an easy task. So at this point, I want to welcome family members to come up and get the hat brass of their cadet, and then go and present the hat brass to your cadet. Okay, hat brass is up here by the announcing stand. You're ready, please get one.
This concludes today's ceremony.
Carry on.
I'm Paladin! Away! I'm Page Hook! And follow! Elbow! Follow!
Bravo! Play on me!
Charlie! Follow!
Charlie! Play on me!
Echo! Follow!
Echo! Play on me!
Half left, please!
Column right, good. Column right, good. Part time, good. Half, full. Half line, please.
Company on! Company sequence! Any company!
Who is the core?
Now, it is our pleasure to recognize this group of young men who are receiving recognition for an old MMA tradition. Legacy cadets are current cadets who are the sons, stepsons, brothers, grandsons, nephews, or cousins of an alumnus who completed at least one full year here at MMA or at Wentworth Military Academy or Kemper Military School and College. I call these cadets to come front and center, then their parents in attendance may come forward as I call each cadet's name. Each cadet will receive an MMA legacy pin to add to their uniform to proudly display his legacy status. Christopher Kit Felon, class of 31, legacy of his father. Christopher Felon, class of 92, Wentworth Military Academy. Dean Mitchell Hilsinger, class of 30, legacy of his brother, River Hunab Mitchell, class of 26. Alvaro Orndine, class of 29, legacy of his uncle, Jamie Orndine, class of 89. Federico Cordero, class of 29, legacy of his uncle, Pablo Cordero, class of 97. Diego Escalante Figueroa, class of 28, legacy of his uncle, Jose Ramon Figueroa, class of 97. Emiliano de la Garza, class of 28, legacy of his grandfather, Rodolfo Barrera, class of 60. Leon Haddad, class of 28, legacy of his father, Armando Haddad, class of 87. Dante Cohen, class of 28, legacy of his father, Douglas Cohen, class of 98, Kemper Military School. Callahan Evans, class of 28, legacy of his uncle, Randall Lease, Wentworth Military Academy, class of 70. Iker Valles, class of 28, legacy of his cousin, Braulio Diaz Fernandez, class of 20. Owen French, class of 27, legacy of his grandfather, William French, class of 65. Santiago Lopez, class of 27, legacy of his cousin, Rogelio Coria Lopez, class of 21. Wong Bui, class of 27, legacy of his brother, Triet Bui, class of 25. Alejandro Isa Munoz, class of 26, legacy of his father, Nicholas Isa, class of 94. Gustavo Granados Zaragoza, class of 26, legacy of his father, Gustavo Adolfo Granados Tres Palacios, class of 93. Ladies and gentlemen, Missouri Military Academy welcomes you to our 2025 Fall Family Review. Before we get started, we would like to acknowledge Brigadier General Geraci, along with our honored guests sitting in the reviewing stand. A review is a military ceremony used to honor visiting dignitaries, present awards and decorations, or commemorate events. Use of reviews can be traced to the Middle Ages when rulers would demonstrate the strength of their armies by holding elaborate military events. At the beginning of the 17th century, armies throughout the world began adopting what is called the regimental system. In this, regiments were assigned a specific color or number for identification and position on the battlefield. In the American Army, reviews were initiated during the Revolutionary War by George Washington's drill master, Baron Friedrich von Steuben, whose guidance forms the backbone of the drill and ceremonies of the U.S. military even to this day. The presence of the band represents the significant role that the drum, fife, and other musical instruments have played throughout military history for signaling in camp or on the battlefield. The colors at the center of the formation represents their presence at the forefront of the unit during the heat of battle. In battle, the color or flag party marched at the front and center of its unit as a point for the unit to organize itself around. By leading the unit in battle, the colors became prime targets because victories were expressed in terms of the number of enemy colors captured. So, the color party bore the brunt of the battle and suffered heavy casualties. Today, the color guard posts at the center of the formation as a reminder of its historic significance. An MMA review consists of 4 stages: a formation of troops, inspection of the units, presentation of honors, and pass and review. First is the formation of troops, in which MMA's battalion staff and band lead MMA's 4 cadet companies onto the parade field where they are formed for the review. The band will also sound off by performing on the field for our alumni, families, faculty, and staff. The second stage, inspection, will see the individual units perform manual of arms, followed by staff officers trooping the line. Stage 3 is presentation and honors, in which all officers, personnel will be decorated, and all colors are centered on the parade reviewing officer while the national anthem is played. Awardees for today's ceremony will receive their coveted MMA senior ring. In Stage 4, the Corps of Cadets will pass and review in tribute to our families, friends, and loved ones in attendance. The bugle call you just heard was attention. It is used to alert the commanders that adjutant's call is about to sound, signaling the start of the review. Today's Corps bugler is Cadet Jacob Stallone of Lima, Ohio, and the adjutant for today's review is Cam Holiu of Shenzhen, China. The cadets standing before you today hail from 28 U.S. states and territories, as well as 9 countries. We are a genuine international campus. The march that will be played as the band sounds off will be High School Cadets March. Now marching to the center of the field house is the cadet battalion commander and his staff. The battalion commander is Cadet River Punab Mitchell of Chiniak, Alaska. The battalion executive officer is Cadet Dwayne Thompson of Troy, Missouri. The battalion sergeant major is Cadet Deontay Kearns of Lincoln, Nebraska. The battalion adjutant is Cadet Cam Holiu of Hong Kong, China. The battalion security and intelligence officer is Eric Bond of Houston, Texas. The battalion plans and operations officer is Aiden Beto of War Acres, Oklahoma. The logistics officer is Cadet Henry Scribner of Houston, Texas. The battalion public affairs officer is Cadet William Larson of Garden Prairie, Missouri. Finally, the the Battalion Communication Officer is Cadet Eric Schellebarger of Mexico, Missouri.
Sir, Budget 37 call, cadets all present.
Amos, is it close?
The Corps will now execute the Manual of Arms to demonstrate their discipline, teamwork, precision, and drill capability. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors the Brigadier General Richard B. Geraci, U.S. Army, retired, and President of Missouri Military Academy. General Geraci will be today's reviewing officer. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now be seated. the command, all officers and colors, center march, all unit commanders, guidon bearers, march to the front and center of the battalion formation. Historically, it was at this point the commanding officer would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the commanders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their troops.
Officer of the cause, the best to be recognized. Forward, push. Battalion, his hands, push. Sir, officers of colors, the best to be recognized, are all present.
Present the honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now be seated.
Officers, heads, sailors. Hey, crew. Battalion, head, push.
Attention to orders. Headquarters, Corps of Cadets, Missouri Military Academy, Office of the Commandant, Special Order Number 9, dated 18th of October, 2025. Whereas the senior ring of the Missouri Military Academy is worn proudly and with distinction by thousands of graduates who have attended this institution for its 137 years. Whereas the wearing of the senior ring is restricted to cadets of the senior class who bear the responsibility of seniority and leadership, setting the example for all, regardless of rank. And whereas those who bear these responsibilities should be recognized for special trust and esteem which accompanies being a member of the senior class at Missouri Military Academy. The pass and review serves two functions for the reviewing party. It dismisses the cadets and at the same time provides an opportunity to inspect the state of discipline and training. As the cadets pass the reviewing party, units will salute and turn their heads to render their respects.
granted. Thank you, sir. Fusileers, move! Part-time push. Come. Fusileers, move. Turn. Requesting permission to leave your drill area. Turn. Permission granted. Thank you. Turn. Exhibition, Fusileers. Top,
Another round of applause for our cadet leaders. You saw how many new cadets we have, and those cadet leaders were responsible for getting them ready to go today. So let's give our cadet leaders a round of applause. And how about that band? Let's give the band a round of applause. Now you know why I have the best job in the world. It's great to see this great crowd, a large crowd here. And we're going to go ahead and finish the ceremony. Thank you very much.
Sir, this concludes today's ceremony.
Outstanding job. Carry on with the plan of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's Fall Family Week in Review. We sincerely hope you enjoyed today's performance. Don't forget today at 12:30 to check in with your cadets company leadership advisors to receive your cadets room and uniform inspection checklist. This will be your opportunity to inspect your cadet's room as well as his general leave uniform. Once your cadet passes your expectations, you may check him out for the afternoon. As a reminder, all senior cadets are required to report back to campus no later than 5 p.m. to prepare for tonight's ring dinner dance.